Hello and welcome. David Montemayor here, your favorite therapeutic life coach. In our previous video, we discussed a topic so fundamental and necessary for your healing that I would bet you have skipped completely over it. I highly suggest you go back and take a look at that video so you can understand that idea for yourself. So today we're going to be discussing a pretty broad topic that is extremely important for understand the nuance of. And the best way to examine this would be through a case study. So let's take a look. This is an email from Jack from Wayne, Pennsylvania, and he wrote in to explain his situation. For years, I've been uncomfortable in crowds. The bigger and more chaotic a crowd, the more stressed I become. But I didn't want this to derail my life, so I went to therapy and learned some breathing strategies and worked through a lot of this utilizing cognitive behavioral therapy. Good job. It really helped me a lot. Things improved for years. I was still anxious, but I was able to work through it. Well said. Okay, so I'm a huge Eagles fan. Go Birds. I don't go to many games, but I try to hit one a year. I'm comfortable there, and these are my people, and I always have a friend or two if I need anything. Well, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018, go Birds. I absolutely had to go to the parade. My brothers were going, and I felt that it was important for me. Everything was going well, and I had a few beers to knock the edge off my anxiety. I was excited. I was feeling good. Then all of a sudden, this drunk guy slams a beer bottle on the ground next to me in excitement. And it really caught me off guard. The glass sprayed up and hit a few people who became agitated with this drunk guy. So, of course, he did it again. A few people close to me were getting angry with him, and all of a sudden, my anxiety just came out of nowhere. I suddenly realized I was in a very huge chaotic crowd, and an intense sense of panic and claustrophobia set in. None of the strategies I learned were working, and I was in complete panic for hours until I was finally able to convince my brothers to leave, and then we hit the traffic on the way home. All of this affected me a lot, but it did wane over time. But see, this last month I got a new job in the city. I've never worked in the city, and I did an interview over Zoom, so I didn't have to travel down there for the interview. I start next week, and I'm absolutely terrified that I'll have another panic attack down there. What should I do? Well, first, Jack, what I'd like to say is what's happening here is that you had a triggering event, and now you are convinced that that triggering event will occur again. So you are allowing the prospect of this trigger or this emotion to lead your life decisions, right? And so this is something that I teach a lot in my work, where we begin to have anxiety about the prospect of anxiety, right? And so the point here is the only real way to get through that is to face that stress, to walk into that stress. And if we do not do that, we will slowly and diligently build ourselves a bigger hole where we continually avoid things that will rile us up and potentially put us in a negative emotion that we fear. Okay? And so the point here is, if you have anxiety, if you have stress, if you have triggers, we must first recognize that that is okay. We must accept I am an anxious person. Crowds tend to make me uncomfortable. And it's okay to work around environments where there are big crowds. But see, we must not allow that to encourage us to avoid those situations, especially if we want the outcome of those good situations and just not the bad outcome. We must accept that we have this emotion and the possibility of this issue and learn to walk into it anyway. If the fear of a possible emotion is driving the decisions in your life, you are not at all in control any longer. I appreciate your time, guys, for this video today. The next video, what we will discuss is we will continue discussing case studies to broaden the perspectives of other people and their emotionality. I think it's vital for us all to recognize that we really truly are in this together, even if we are alone in those emotions at that time. I highly suggest that you like this video, subscribe, send it to a friend that may need to hear it, and I definitely look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks again.